Okay, what if your car actually got better after you bought it? I know, it sounds a little strange, but that's the whole promise behind one of the biggest transformations hitting the auto industry, the rise of the software-defined vehicle. And to understand it, we really just need to look at the device that's probably in your hand right now.
I mean, think back for a second. Remember when a mobile phone just made calls? That was it. It was a piece of hardware designed for a single, unchangeable purpose. It did its one job, and that was pretty much the end of the story, right? But then, well, everything changed. We got a camera, some really slow internet, but the real game changer was when the software was finally separated from the hardware. The App Store turned your phone from a static object into a dynamic platform, one that could learn new tricks and get better all the time.
And that exact same shift, from a product with a fixed function to a dynamic software platform, is precisely what's happening to cars, right now. This is the absolute core idea of the software-defined vehicle.
So, what even is a software-defined vehicle, or SDV? Well, put simply, it's a car where all the features, from safety systems to what's on your screen, are run by software. And what that means is, the car isn't really finished when it leaves the factory. In fact, it's just getting started.
This shift changes pretty much everything. With a traditional car, its features are locked in by the hardware. To get an upgrade, you're heading to the dealer. But with an SDV, improvements are delivered over the air, OTA, just like a phone update. And here's the most radical idea. For the very first time, a car's value and what it can do can actually increase long after you've driven it off the lot. So what's the magic trick under the hood that makes all this possible? Well, it's not a new kind of engine, it's a completely new kind of digital architecture.
So to understand the new way, we got to look at the old way. A modern car is an unbelievably complex machine run by over 100 of these little separate brains. They're called electronic control units, or ECUs. Each one is a tiny computer with just one job, controlling the engine, or the windows, or the airbags. The problem is, their software is basically hardwired to them, so trying to update anything becomes a total logistical nightmare. So the whole industry is moving away from that tangled mess. The architecture has been evolving, right? From that distributed system of 100+ ECUs to a domain system where they're grouped by function. But the real goal, the destination, is a zonal architecture. This is where components are grouped by their physical location in the car and run by just a few powerful central computers. It acts a lot more like a modern IT network. And this centralization, this is the key that unlocks the whole thing. By decoupling the software from any one piece of hardware, it can finally be developed, tested, and updated on its own. That is the technical breakthrough that makes the whole SDV concept work. Okay, so that's the how. Now let's get to the most important part. What does all this techie stuff actually mean for you, the person behind the wheel? What are the real-world benefits here?
This is the real payoff. Just imagine your car getting safer because a software update improved its collision avoidance, or getting quicker with a patch that optimizes its acceleration. You could even subscribe to a feature like heated seats just for the winter months. See, the car you buy is no longer the car you're stuck with. It actually evolves with you.
This quote from Deloitte just hits the nail on the head. Cars are transforming into intelligent, expandable mobile electronic terminals. Now, that might sound a bit dry, but it's really just another way of saying they're becoming incredibly powerful computers on wheels. But of course, a revolution like this doesn't happen overnight. This is a massive undertaking, and there are some pretty significant hurdles that engineers are tackling as we speak.
The first hurdle is just the sheer scale of it all. A modern vehicle can have over 100 million lines of software code. To put that in perspective, that's more than a fighter jet. And the main challenge is?
Well, it's just managing that immense complexity. Getting millions and millions of lines of code from dozens of different suppliers to all work together perfectly, that is a monumental engineering feat.
And number two, as cars get more connected, they become potential targets. I mean, if your car can get updates over the internet, you have to make absolutely sure it's protected from cyber attacks. A security breach here is way more serious than losing bank details. It could be life-threatening. So building rock-solid security from the ground up is non-negotiable.
And finally, there's standardization. You know, for this whole ecosystem to work, there has to be a common language. Car makers and suppliers are working together in groups like the Eclipse SDV Foundation to create open standards, kind of like APIs, so that a sensor from one company can talk seamlessly to a computer from another.
So even with all these challenges, the industry is charging ahead. And that's because the software-defined vehicle isn't just about making your car better today, it's about building the foundation for the entire future of how we get around.
And this is the crucial point. The SDV is the platform that enables all these next-gen ideas. You can't have cars talking to traffic lights to reduce congestion without this flexible software backbone. You can't have true smart city integration. And maybe most importantly, you definitely can't have fully autonomous cars without a system that can be updated and improved constantly. The SDV is the essential first step to get there.
So as we wrap this up, just think about this. For over a century, the most important part of a car was its engine, its hardware. But in the near future, the most powerful and exciting feature is going to be its software. The biggest upgrade will be delivered wirelessly, right to your driveway, maybe while you're asleep. The only question left is, are you ready for a car that never stops getting better?